Forget waiting for Tesla's next big thing or BYD's cutting-edge tech, as Japan automakers have ripped the rulebook, and now there's a car for everyone. KG Motors has just announced its $7,000 MiBot, a one-seat electric minicar that's shaking up the EV world, and they now have about 3,300 pre-orders as of mid-2025. No doubt it is tiny in size but big in impact. It charges from a normal wall plug in your house, goes 100 kilometers on a single charge, and costs less than some e-bikes. But here's the amazing part. Production hasn't even started yet, and the buzz is already shaking the EV industry. But what makes this little EV so dangerous to the EV world? We are all watching Tesla and BYD fight for the crown in electric cars. But while they chase bigger batteries and faster chargers, a small Japanese company, KG Motors, is sneaking in from another angle. KG Motors' aim is actually very simple. Make EVs that anyone can afford. Tesla sells a dream, BYD sells scale, but KG Motors is selling freedom, and Japan has never been happier. Japan has been lagging in EVs, letting China and Tesla dominate the market. But one thing Japan has a history for is shaking the auto world with small, clever designs, the same way Toyota's fuel-efficient cars crushed Detroit in the 1970s. Right now, the average Tesla costs around $45,000 in the US, and BYD's bestsellers like the Dolphin hover near $20,000 in China. But KG Motors is eyeing a sweet spot which is under $10,000 for a city EV. That's half of BYD's cheapest global models and almost one-fifth of Tesla's entry price. Once KG Motors starts mass producing, it means every sale is money that doesn't go to Tesla or BYD. And here's the kicker. Ultra-compact EVs are the fastest-growing slice of the EV market in the world. In Japan, micro-EVs already make up 40% of new EV sales, not to mention China. China sold over 1 million minicars in 2023, led by the Wallay mini EV. And if MiBot catches that wave outside Asia, Tesla and BYD will lose buyers in a segment they have ignored. MiBot actually costs less than Japan's best-selling KEV, the Nissan Sakura, which is one of its many advantages. MiBot has a 7.68 kilowatt-hour LFP battery, with a range of 100 kilometers and top speed of 60 kilometers per hour. It's enough for daily errands, deliveries, or short commutes, where most trips in Japan are under 10 kilometers. This will be a game changer for delivery companies that will order it, as it can carry up to 45 kilograms of cargo, making it perfect for delivery riders working in congested urban streets or narrow rural lanes. And of course, it is built for tough weather. It also includes amenities like air conditioning, small trunk, heated seat, touchscreen, and over-the-air updates. Aside from that, it takes just 5 hours to charge from a standard 100-volt outlet in your house, which is a bonus as it reduces the cost of electricity. MiBot makes EV ownership possible for more people in Japan because many can't afford the huge price of other EVs. MiBot will start production around October 2025 and will be ramping up to approximately 10,000 units annually by 2027. They aim to deliver the first 300 units to customers in regions like Hiroshima and Tokyo by March 2026. But if KG Motors could upscale, let's say 100,000 units, they could outsell Toyota's entire EV lineup. Even Toyota didn't see MiBot coming. In 2024, Toyota sold only 2,038 EVs in Japan. And KG Motors? They have pre-orders more than Toyota's total EV sales last year. That makes MiBot not only Japan's fastest-selling EV way before deliveries even begin, but it also sets KG Motors up to surpass Toyota in EV numbers. Even though they are not as big as Toyota or BYD, KG Motors have a solid legacy in SUVs and pickups that people trust. KG Motors models like the Tivoli, Corando, Rexton, Taurus, and the all-electric Taurus EVX have seen great sales. Taurus sold approximately 48,000 through mid-2023 in South Korea and Europe. They've also confirmed plans to expand into family EVs, which is going to be, of course, lesser than most family EVs. Of course, MiBot is turning heads, but is it actually beating established mini EVs like the Nissan Sakura? Not yet. In 2023, Nissan Sakura sold 37,140 units, accounting for nearly half of all EV sales in the country. But in 2024, their sales dropped to 22,900. Still, MiBot is not closed. Aside from the Sakura offering 4 seats, 180 kilometers range, 180 kilometers per hour top speed, and advanced features like ProPilot driver assistance, it also has a 5-star JNCAP safety rating. Also, Nissan Sakura qualifies as a K car, meaning it has a significant tax and insurance advantage. Compared to MiBot, which remains a single-seater with limited speed and range, built for just one person. Yes, Nissan might be beating MiBot in terms of advanced features and insurance advantage, but MiBot still has an advantage over it with price, about half the cost of Sakura. For a startup, MiBot is actually winning in its current pre-order sales, surpassing Toyota's 2024 EV sales before even a single unit is delivered. Maybe MiBot wouldn't have been gaining ground in Japan if Honda, Suzuki, and Daihatsu had launched mainstream EVs. These companies are still focused on hybrids and K-car gasoline models, giving MiBot an advantage to dominate the mini EV game. Is MiBot actually cheap, or is it just PR? While many praised KG Motors and its goal to make EV for everyone, some criticized the price among many things. In some Asian countries like the Philippines, MiBot is actually expensive. When the price is converted, it is now around 900,000 pesos to 1 million pesos, which is very high for a single-seater in Philippines' EV markets. Others drew concern that MiBot is only for one person, yet it takes up the same road space as a four-wheeler. In Asia, most people buy cars for family use or to carry more than just themselves. This makes MiBot quite impractical for many buyers outside Japan. There were also questions on range and safety expectations, as MiBot doesn't go very far on a single charge compared to Chinese EV companies like BYD, Wallay, and Changan selling EVs with 2 4-seaters with longer range and better support. Asides BYD and Tesla's dominance, can MiBot compete globally? To answer that, KG Motors will have to put in more effort. Because in Europe, there are Citroën Ami, Microlino, and Silence EVs, all designed for urban mobility, threatening the MiBot stand. Also, in other Asian countries like India, Tata's Tiago EV offers 4 seats and longer range for around $10,000, making it even more practical than MiBot. MiBot supply chains might be its end. Even though MiBot seems like it might scale through despite range and price concerns outside Japan, its supply chain might break. KG Motors kept MiBot affordable by using a small LFP battery and avoiding costly cobalt and nickel. But the rise of sodium-ion batteries by CATL could soon slash costs even further, shrinking MiBot's price, which is one of its selling points. And unlike China, which dominates the EV supply chain with easier access to lithium and other raw materials, Japan relies heavily on imports. And since KG Motors manufactures their own LFP batteries, they depend heavily on imports, which will limit their scalability amidst the current battery competition. What if Amazon makes MiBot its main delivery company? What if MiBot's breakthrough comes from fleets and not individual buyers as intended? See it from this angle. Delivery giants like Amazon Japan, Rakuten, or Uber Eats riders could adopt it for last-mile logistics, cutting costs and emissions in crowded cities. A win-win. So yes, if a company like Amazon made MiBot its primary delivery vehicle, demand would skyrocket overnight. Aside from Amazon, local governments could also use them for postal routes, neighborhood security patrols, or healthcare visits, which will result in more units being sold out. Is there a future for MiBot? Yes. With its low cost, small battery, easy charging, and low carbon emissions, MiBot could become Japan's most practical urban workhorse, and the only problem would be how fast they respond to demands.